A Queens by the Minute exclusive.
move forward with these plans and taking the money from the Department of Homeless Services to house the homeless in your neighborhood, okay? So I don't want anybody to think for 1 minute that this is over. This is just the beginning. And we have to get all of our civic groups together. Joe Concannon right here runs one of the strongest civic groups in your neighborhood. Team up with him and get it together and make it a stronger civic group. Where ours is Juniper Civic Association, we're going to team together, we're going to fight this, and we're going to go to City Hall. And we need
for the people in Maspeth, thank you for your work and your tireless efforts in this regard. And thank you for driving me to Brooklyn, to the Commissioner's house. You made a statement, and it's a huge statement. All right? For the people in Bellrose and Floral Park, I want you to listen up clearly. All right? Earlier this week, I sat in my dining room because Mr. Patel requested a meeting room and came over to my house. And what I did was I connected the Maspeth group via a conference call on my phone. And we sincerely tried to work out an agreement with him. But we want an agreement that's not in principle. We want an agreement that's legally binding so that we don't have to come out and waste our time doing this every weekend. All right? And that's what happened yesterday when Senator Ravella, Councilman Grodenchik, and an assembly lady from Solanges, I believe, from Nassau County, all got together. They had an agreement in principle with him that said by the end of December, you know, there'll be no more homeless in their hotels. Well, that's nice, except for the fact that he can write a different letter tomorrow and another letter the day after. We want something that's legally binding so that if Mr. Patel decides that he's actually going to phase this out in all his hotels, wherever they are. And mind you, the circumstances in Maspeth are different than the circumstances in Bellrose and Floral Park. In Bellrose and Floral Park, he actually owns the business, he actually owns the building and the land. All right, in Maspeth, it's a different story. He owns the business and the hotel, but he doesn't own the land. And we're trying to work out a different agreement with him in Maspeth. But here in Bellrose, what we want is we want a restricted covenant, all right, that is attached to the deed of the property. So that if in 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years, the property gets sold, we're not back out here on the street again saying, you know, solutions, not shelters. All right, this is very sincere, and this is also trying to bring some level of dignity to find those people who find themselves in distress. And I mean true and sincere distress, all right, so that they can get the services that they need. We all pay huge taxes, whether you're on the Queens or Nassau side, and the mayor has to work with his elected officials and community leaders to make sure that whether it's, you know, they always like to put the young woman and the hungry child out there as the poster child for everything that's going on. Well, if that's the case, and they actually are abused women, and there are many in the city of New York, then we should not be calling them homeless people. We should be calling them abused victims, and there should be solutions for them. Just so you know, that's where we're headed with this. All right, it's not anti-homeless people, because some of those homeless people are actually suffering. Some are suffering from mental illness. Some are suffering from PTSD from the war, and they're veterans of the United States. And we should be taking care of these people. We shouldn't be just, you know, there's a saying, you know, when I was in the police department, and the saying was this, all right, don't ship the problem off to someone else, all right? Another commanding officer, another unit leader, whatever the case is. Solve the problem where it is, where it sits, all right? And address it where it sits. And try and work out so that you can bring whoever it is back into the mainstream, whether it's in policing or whether those are homeless people across the city of New York who find themselves in a bevy of different situations here in the city of New York. That's what we're all about. The fact that these people, like Mr. Patel and others throughout the city of New York, are making nearly $250,000 a month based on a city policy which basically engages sheltering companies who are making a bundle on this as well to find space. Thanks for saying that. All right, you know, because the number of $250,000 per month is what we estimated out of the Bellrose and Floral Park locations. There are much bigger locations, and what'd you say that?
The landlord himself, last year, made $22 million on one location in Long Island City of 110 rooms to shelter the homeless. That was only the landlord. That's not the company called Akasha, who are the so-called non-profits. I can only imagine what they made if the landlord on one building made $22 million last year. These guys are just taking money and not helping anybody.
And there, you know, we started this off, and many of you don't know this, but I participated with some other people that are here, all right, at the Pan American Hotel on Queens Boulevard. Pan American Hotel at one point was a thriving hotel, all right, and it's in the middle of Queens, the center of Queens, and should have been promoted as such so that it's on the tax rolls of the city of New York. I don't know if anybody's here from East Elmhurst United. I saw Jennifer earlier, but I don't know if she's still here. But, you know, we tried to fight with them, and the city told us, hey, listen, this is only temporary. It's not full, you know, we're never going to make it permanent. And that's what's got us so concerned about Bellrose and Floral Park in Maspeth. Because the city's turning around, they're saying the same thing, and they're lying to the voters. They're outright lying to the voters. Now, without being a conspiracy theorist, I'm going to tell you this. There is a line of thought out there which says that Mayor de Blasio is in cahoots with some of these sheltering companies because they're giving to his political campaign. I don't want to, well, it may be true. I don't know it's a fact, so those of you who know me, unless I know it's a fact.
It is a fact. It is a fact.
It's on fire, it's not the smoke.
Well, then, you know, I don't know it, I can't say it, but I can tell you this. It's a line of thought that's out there, and if we can get it actually factually in documents somewhere, we'll certainly put it out there and we'll promote it out there so that everybody knows that the mayor of the city of New York is in bed with these guys. All right, this is back to Mike Capaccio. Mike's the kind of beginning of all this.
I'm going to give you the facts you need. 2013, Mr. Patel gave a $27,000 bribe to a hotel owner in Brooklyn who happened to be a politician. I don't need this. Happened to be a politician. Politician's in jail now. Mr. Patel's still doing business with the city. So anybody here that can put two and two together can figure out that guy's a criminal, de Blasio's a criminal, and he better understand that this is only the beginning. And you got to remember, the weather's going to change now. So you can't give up. That's what they're banking on, the weather changing and us going away. Take your coats out, take your coats out. And last, before I give Tony Nunziata the mic, I want to thank the New York City Police Department for following us around the city. We went from Brooklyn to Long Island, now we went to Oyster Bay. We're going all over the place. So thank you all for coming out again. Don't give up, never give up. You know, there was a guy by the name of Jimmy Valvano, died. Anybody knows basketball? His famous saying is, don't give up, never give up, till we win. I'm going to give the microphone to Tony Nunziata, and then we got to drive this guy and his neighbors that are sitting here peacefully to understand that that man that they live next to is a criminal. Criminal.
I just want to make sure everybody understands, so there's no misunderstanding. When Joe Concannon had Mr. Patel in front of him, and we were on the phone, and we were all talking, 6 of us, and Joe had at some point to make sure that we understood exactly what he said, so it was clear. No misunderstanding. He wanted to be a good community man. Mr. Patel wanted to do that. He wanted to assure that he was going to work with us. He assured us that 10 o'clock he'd meet us, and he was sure that if we went through all the paperwork, he wanted to do it to show that he was a good community man. And you know what he is? A liar. Where is Mr. Patel? He's not even home. Maybe he's playing mongoose in the 9 hotels he owns. Maybe he's jumping from one to the other. But he's not here. But they also, just so you know how it's hurting our neighborhoods. It's not like everyone says that we're not looking to help the homeless. But you don't help the homeless, you don't help the people who have heroin problems, you don't help the people who have all the problems by putting them in one place and label them. You put them in the right spots and take care of it. What we cannot overlook, it's our tax dollar that's paying for it. It's our tax dollar. We're supposed to get these out. Bring them in. have Mayor de Blasio, and let me tell you something, being Italian descent, his name is really Warren Wilhelm. I'm embarrassed that this guy keeps using de Blasio. And I look at there's a lot of good Germans out there, but this guy is a farce. He changed his name 3 times in 20 years. And he wants to change our towns in 30 days. We gotta run this mayor out. We gotta make sure he understands he works for us. And Mr. Banks works for us. I just got a phone call from somebody in Maspeth to tell me, did you see what happened on Facebook? It's gone wild. I said, no. Down from your store, there's a homeless man urinating in front of another store. That's what our mayor did. He made urinating in the streets legal. You don't get arrested no more for that. You're allowed to urinate. You're allowed to have open beverages out in the street. I think we should go to Grayson Mansion and urinate on his house. We have to keep the fight on. Maspeth's been doing it for since August. What's that date, Mike? August 11th. From August 11th to now, Maspeth's been fighting all this time.
25 burglaries in Bellrose over the summer alone.
There you go.
Emanates from the homeless shelter. A lot of criminals being housed there. These aren't homeless innocent victims.
Correct, and that's the come we're all fighting it. We can't give up the fight. Bellrose, Maspeth, and all the other towns, we must stay solidarity, and let's keep going. Thank you.
For those of you who join us later, there is a Facebook website that we want you to go to for the latest information. Myself and the administrators will try and keep it up to speed. It's called Joint Queens Nassau Task Force. It's on Facebook. It's a closed group, so you've got to, go up, request, and then you'll get approved. And we'll try and get the current information up there. I just put the video of your demonstration here up there as well. And some pictures will make it up there. What we're going to do now is we're going to do about 10 to 20 minutes more of our demonstration, and then we're going to call it a day. All right? Thank you, everybody. Certainly appreciate it. Hang on 1 second. We got something else.
This will be real quick. I just want everybody to know, and I keep mentioning this whenever I speak in Maspeth, that a couple of years ago, a bill was put up before the mayor stating that the police department, law enforcement, whenever they caught an illegal criminal and put him in jail, once he was released, they could no longer deport him. They put him out, they give him housing, they give him medical. Makes him a parasite. It was Intro 6568. This is what our elected officials are doing to us in order to pander to the mayor. It has to stop. If an elected official doesn't do what we want them to do, call them out. Call them out. And let them know you're going to do it. Call them out and let them know. It's our communities, not theirs. They work for us.
We the people.
By the way, Maspeth voted out Marge Markey. I just want to make sure, guys, so you know, you're right, one-term mayor. We don't have unlimited art taxes paying for everything like the mayor has, and Mr. Banks making over $200,000 a year. We have to chip in and do everything to buy buses, to pay for lawyers. If you look on Maspeth 11378 and Juniper Civic, you're going to see a page there saying that we have a fundraiser October 8th. At O'Neill's for fundraising, for buses, for everything that we need to make sure we have a battle, to make sure Mr. Patel does what we ask. So please, look on the sites. It's on 11378, Maspeth 11378, and Juniper Park Civic. Yeah, Facebook, Maspeth 11378. Please contribute. We're up to close to 40,000. We just had to give 10,000 more to the lawyers. The buses cost a lot. We need the money. We need your bodies, please. Thank you so much.
Hey guys.
I just want to say to everybody that came on the buses from Maspeth, we're going to protest here for about another 20 minutes, and then we're going to get on buses to head back home. So thank you to all the Bellrose and Floral Park residents. We appreciate you being here. And we're going to be here to support you. Our buses are 1 block this way, leaving from Soho, on the Maspeth residents. Another 20 minutes protest, and our buses are on 81st Avenue and 262nd Street, so you know how to get home. Thanks, guys.
Nice and loud. We gotta get nice and loud. All right, folks, let's hear it.
Motel!